I wasted years thinking life would figure itself out. I believed working hard was easy. It was not. But the time I understood how money, people, and opportunities really works, I was already 71. And what I discover shocks me because nobody teaches me at 24. What I am about to say could
At
save your
24,
ticket.
life feels long. Time feels unlimited. Mistakes feel harmless. You believe, there's still time. You'll start saving later. You'll build wealth, eventually. You'll figure things out when the pressure comes. I believed the same thing. I worked. I earned. I spent. I assumed consistency alone would build security. But I never tested how money actually behaves. I never questioned systems. I never studied people's decisions. And most importantly, I expected life to reward effort automatically. But this is where things started changing.
I remember thinking, this does not make sense. People who work less were earning more. People who save early were calm. People who understood money were never disappointed. And I kept asking myself, why are people reacting differently to the same opportunity? That question stayed with me for years.
So, here's where things started to shift. At 24, I thought people made decisions logically. Price, quality, facts, that's what I believed mattered. But then, I began noticing something strange. People weren't reacting to the product. They were reacting to the feeling around it. And I didn't understand it at first. Someone would hold the item, pause, look around. And suddenly their body language changed. Arms crossed, eyes narrowed, voice softer. That wasn't about money. That was uncertainty. Here's the thing. Buying is emotional first, logical second. When someone feels unsure, they don't say, I'm scared to make a decision. They say, I'll come back later. And most never do. I started watching more closely. The way people picked things up. How long they held them. Whether they looked at me, or avoided eye contact. Those tiny signals told the real story. Not their words. Their comfort level. And that's when pricing started behaving strangely. Lowering the price didn't always increase sales. Sometimes, it made people trust it less. We assume cheaper equals easier. But to the human brain, cheap can feel risky. Cheap can feel like, why is this so low, what's wrong with it? I didn't expect this next part. When the price was slightly higher, people took the decision more seriously. They slowed down. They evaluated. They imagined themselves using it. That pause was powerful. Because in that moment, they weren't buying the item. They were buying certainty. But it got worse. I realized I had been focusing on explaining the product. Features, benefits, logic. Meanwhile, buyers were silently asking a different question. Do I feel safe choosing this? Not safe physically, safe emotionally, safe socially, safe from regret. And their body language revealed everything. Leaning in meant curiosity. Stepping back meant hesitation. Looking at others meant needing validation. Most tutorials stop here, but this next step matters. The real trigger wasn't persuasion. It was relief. When people felt understood. When pressure disappeared. When the choice felt like theirs. Decisions happened naturally. No forcing. No convincing. Just alignment. And at 24, I missed all of it. I thought selling was talking. At 77, I know it's listening.
Right here, I almost quit trying to understand it. But then, something changed everything.
So, let's zoom out for a second. Because this was never just about selling something. It was about understanding how money actually moves, and why. At 24, I thought money followed effort. Work hard, earn more. Simple. But reality didn't behave that way. Some people worked non-stop, and stayed broke. Others moved quietly, and wealth kept finding them. That confused me for years. Then I saw the pattern. Money follows behavior, not effort. And behavior is shaped by psychology. This is where things get interesting. Businesses don't just sell products. They design decisions. Every price tag, every layout, every limited offer. It's all guiding the brain toward a choice. Not forcing, guiding. Here's the part most people overlook. Scarcity changes everything. When something feels limited, the brain stops asking, "Do I need this?" It starts asking, "Will I miss this?" That shift is powerful. And systems use it everywhere. Only 3 left. Offer ends tonight. Last chance. It's not always manipulation, but it is strategy. Because attention is short, and urgency cuts through hesitation. Well, this connects directly to wealth habits too. People who struggle with money often wait for certainty. Perfect timing, perfect plan, perfect conditions. But those rarely come. Meanwhile, people who build wealth move under uncertainty. They decide faster. They learn while moving. They treat mistakes as tuition, not failure. And then I noticed another layer. Wealth isn't just about earning more. It's about reducing emotional reactions to money. Fear spending, fear investing, fear charging higher prices, fear losing. Fear keeps people safe, but small. Systems, on the other hand, remove emotion. Automatic saving, repeated offers, structured pricing, consistent habits, not motivation, structure. Most tutorials stop at, work harder, or, believe in yourself. But this next step matters. Build systems that work when you're tired. Because discipline fades, energy drops, life gets messy, systems stay. And the people who understand this early, they don't just make money. They position themselves around where money flows. Opportunities, networks, information, timing. That's why 2 people can start at the same point. And 20 years later live completely different lives. One relied on effort alone. The other learned how behavior, scarcity, and systems quietly shape outcomes. And at 77, this is the truth that hits hardest. No one teaches you this at 24. They teach you to work. They rarely teach you how the game actually works.
That is when it hit me. It was not just about money. It was about timing, understanding people. I wish someone told me this at 24. Not to scare me, but to wake me up. And once you understand how the system works, you stop chasing money and start protecting yourself for it. There is one thing that I know that many people does not discover until it's too late. Please share and subscribe.